Tyler B. I'm from Philly. I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and I am graduating from Morgan State University with my Master's of Arts in Journalism. And I'll be graduating on the 16th of December. So thank you. Like I said, I did my master's project on women in hip hop because I have a radio show here in Baltimore, and I've been working in artist development and branding for a very, very long time. And I feel like there's not enough conversation about what it is to see more women in hip hop and just some of the things that we're seeing nowadays. I want to start by asking everybody who wants to just give a little bit of background of who they are and their top five rappers of any time period are. We're gonna start below the mods, so we'll be starting with Q, and you know, y'all don't have to take y'all time, but I ain't gonna put a funeral limit on y'all. Be a little
For sure, for
hasty.
sure. So we doing top five female rappers. Like
No,
rap.
top five rappers. Period.
Oh, that's tough. Well, my name is Q. I'm from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? 25. But my top five, I'm gonna put Pac up there. I'm gonna put Andre 3000 up there. I'm gonna put Wayne up there. That's where it get hard. I'm gonna do KRS-One. I'm gonna do Ludacris.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a sturdy top five. Hey Tay,
Hey,
so tell us who you are, where you're from, and your top five.
I'm Tay. I'm from Philly. There's no order. I'm gonna do Lil Baby. I'm gonna do Dirt. Put Wayne in there. I gotta put Drake in there. I don't know. I don't got five. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Hey Alex,
Hey, what's up?
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So tell everybody where you're from and your top five.
I have more than a top five, but right now I'll probably say, oh, and I'm from Maryland, but I'll say Nas, Kendrick, No Name, Wayne, and just because it's funny, BFB the Pac Man.
I didn't think you was gonna say that last one, but I'm glad you did. Hey Logan.
Hey, girl.
So you wanna let everybody know who you are, where you're from, and your top five?
Yeah, I'm Logan from Philly, and I'm gonna just give a random top five because I don't really listen to rap that much. So I'm gonna say Nicki Minaj, Wayne, Jay Z, Andre 3000, and Tierra Whack.
Okay, okay. And shout out to the hometown finest. I see you putting Tierra in there. What's up, No Face? Hey Mac.
Yo, 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 talk to me, don't lie to me.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, sweetie?
I can't complain. I can't complain. So I want to hear about your top five because I definitely have seen a difference and some similarities based upon where everybody's from.
Okay, well, I'm Matt Lucky from the SIP. You know what I'm saying? And my top five would be Young Boy, Lil Baby. 50 Cent was always my favorite rapper growing up, so you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw 50 Cent up in there, Lil Wayne, and Lil Boosie.
Okay, okay. Ain't nothing wrong with a little boost. Okay, so Adam, I know this is your first time on the app. I mean, he's been supporting me since the beginning of a radio career for Tyler B. So definitely shout out to you. And
Already.
I'm definitely gonna be more opinionated about your top five. So why don't you go
See,
ahead and give it to me?
nah, you putting me on the spot, but
A little bit.
yeah,
Don't feel
I wasn't
bad. She got
expecting
me
this, but
too.
I'm from Baltimore first off, and I don't know, my list changes all the time, but number one, I would probably say like Jizza from the Wu Tang Clan. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I probably got two. Of course, I got Tupac on there, Yasin Bey, Nas, and I'll probably say like Pharoah Monch, probably.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's where the variety comes in. I'm loving the variety I'm seeing now.
But it changes all the time, though. You feel me?
Oh, I know. All right. Hey, Michaela.
Hey, what's up?
So you want to tell me about your top five favorite rappers?
Top five favorite rappers.
Method Man, Tupac. What's it? I'm liking West Side Boogie right now. More
Okay.
recent. Um, David Banner, and oh, I really got four right now.
That's fine. That's fine. But that's a 34. I definitely am seeing your four be a little something something. But one thing I've noticed about most of the people that have said something, um, a lot of the people that you named, we got a lot of Nas's and a lot of Tupac's and a lot of Wayne's, but we didn't get a lot of women. As if my count is correct, I think we only got no more than a handful of women. And that's
You got
definitely
two
something
women.
worth.
Two women. Only Logan said Tierra Whack and Nicki Minaj.
We didn't get as many women, and I think there are way too many women out here to not have at least one woman from all the way back then to all the way now that are top five worthy. So that's what started this project. Like, why don't people put women in their top five? And a lot of the research I've done was more so about the lyrical content. So I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about the lyrical content that you hear in women's songs, and why do people hold it to such a higher standard than some do men, when if it's a good bar, it's a good bar. But if the lyrical content of a woman's song is a little more racy, um, it's like, oh, she's not taking it seriously or things of that nature. So if there's anybody that would like to answer, drop a one in the chat and we will get to you. But I can start. I think that a lot of times men, or not necessarily men, but people, rap enthusiasts, I guess you could call them, they think bars are supposed to be bigger than just being able to be what's popping. And I think that's kind of the popping thing right now, to be a little bit more sexy in your music. And I think that they're just not taking it in the way that they would if it was a man saying it or somebody else. But I definitely see some ones. So Michaela, you wanna give us your answer?
With me, I'm 23. So the only reason I know about Method Man and Tupac and everything is because they get more exposure. Even now, you'll hear a Method Man song in a movie, or it'll be on a commercial, or you'll see him on the TV. And I feel like for people my age group and definitely after me, it's we don't really know about the women rappers because they don't get that FaceTime with the people anymore. They only had back in the day because people won't bring them to the forefront anymore.
Okay,
Like they
okay,
had their
yeah.
shine, and then after they just forgot about them. And if they try to pop out, then they give them the has been label, and they don't really pay attention to them.
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean. If you're not the new hot girl, you're kind of washed up, yeah?
Yeah. And we can see that kind of happening with Nikki right now. I get what people are saying because I don't agree with the way she just came at baby girl, but at the same time, I feel like the industry is kind of trying to wash her out by switching her title.
The queen of hip hop right now.
Yeah, I feel like you can't take that away from her, but if you switch her from being a rap artist like they did, they switched her song from being rap to pop. If you take
Mm-hmm.
her out of that category, then she can easily be washed out for the next girl to come. And I feel like they've done that with women rappers since the beginning, to be honest. Because
Yeah, I definitely see
I
where
know
you coming from.
who MC Light is. I know who she is. I haven't heard her songs, and I think maybe I could be more proactive in listening to it, but I haven't heard it anywhere other than
It's not
maybe
as
some old
universal.
movies.
Mouth, I see you have you put a one in the chat, so I
Child, let me
definitely want to
tell
hear
you.
it.
Let me tell you,
Give
man.
it to me.
Tyler, these is haters. That's why. Let me tell you something. it be the society standpoint. Somebody got to look like this, look like that. Whoop, wop, the bam. They could have bars. They could bar under the table any day of the week. If they don't look like what society is looking for, if they not a social media influencer, if they don't got clout in their city, if they not lit, it's just gonna be. They not gonna try to support you as much as they should. I see. Like I'm very into battle rap. So
Mm-hmm.
like with battle rap, they do the same thing. Some of the women have harder bars than the niggas, but they treat it like the WNBA. They not coming to watch women rap, and it's like, why? Like y'all, because people don't look like how you expect them to look, or y'all dismiss them as women because niggas always want to own everything. They want to stomp on everybody and put their foot on our necks. We got our rights to vote.
You better tell them. Cause let's keep it a buck 50. As soon as you started talking about it, the first person I thought of was Missy and how Missy been out here
Man,
out
what?
repping
Everybody,
everybody.
the visuals is there, songwriting
I
skills,
mean, just
the
the whole
talent. She's the
package.
whole package. She's like the female Busta Rhymes, in my humble opinion.
Very
She
much
does the
so.
exact same thing, but she would never get the same recognition. Why? Because niggas is haters. That's my answer. Thank you.
Don't ever disrespect
Hmm.
Missy Elliott like that. The
Okay.
female Buster. God, that's
I
crazy.
mean,
I
I
mean,
definitely can
I
see
didn't
it
mean
though
that
with the
like all the
branding.
way. Like that was supposed to be taken loosely, but yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely feel you because a lot of their branding, especially when they first came out, was very similar. So it definitely makes sense, like the outlandish music videos and just the always having like a vibrant,
Like
very
the
vibrant
creativity is what I was speaking on, like
mm-hmm.
that aspect,
Yeah,
not
I feel you. I
as
feel like
far as
I feel like
the full
when it comes to
musical capability.
artistry though, I don't think it's too many out there like Missy. She a different breed. I mean, I get what some people say with the Nicki Minaj thing, but it ain't. It's a lot of women out here that's rapping, but they not really just. And I give credit where credit due. I'm not gonna be sexist about it, but it's like how many women out here doing it like Missy and doing it like Nikki or even a Tierra Whack or Tierra Whack. That's one that I see she really like that. Like it ain't too many that got that kind of talent like that for real for real.
And can I add on to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So hold on. What was the original question? Take
So
it
the
back to the.
original question was, why do certain rap enthusiasts try to hold women's lyrical content to a higher standard than necessarily they do men? Because if men have a
Okay.
good bar, they have a good bar.
Okay. So I don't think that it's necessarily holding it to a higher standard. I think that it's more so like someone said, perspective. Because even so there's an organization called Pew Research Center. They did a study back in 2015 and they determined that 43% of the people who listen to hip hop are male out of
Hmm.
just the 28% of women that they surveyed. So when you look at that, like it's telling you right there, like there are more men listening to hip hop than women. Just based on that alone, men are gonna want to hear male perspectives. It's just something naturally that men would gravitate towards. But to say, just to bring it back to your original point, like I one of my favorite MCs is Bahama Dia. She's Philly. You know what I'm saying? Her album Collage is a classic album. She got some of the hardest DJ Premier beats, and her flow, her content, all everything Bahamadia does is dope. It's ill, you know. But there are certain songs on that LP that I don't relate to necessarily. But there,
Right.
it's a hard song. You know, I acknowledge that it's a hard song. You know, and I'll listen to it, but I won't like put it in rotation necessarily. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
So
I definitely get what you mean.
I don't think it's necessarily a hate thing. It's not like as a man, I'm intentionally not trying to give props to a woman, you know, as an MC. It's just that I'm more inclined to listen to a man's point of view because that's what I go through as a man.
I definitely see where you're coming from. I just feel like when a male rapper has a basic bar, and like it might still be a little poppin', a little cool, but essentially it's a very like basic bar. It's not complex in any way, shape, or form. It still slides. But if a woman does it, then it's like, oh, she trash. She just cute. She don't really know how to rap for real. And it's like,
Then again, what perspective
oh,
is it from though? Because it's Lauren Hill bars that I could recite to you that are ill. You know what I'm saying? But are we talking about like I don't know, maybe like Glorilla? Are we talking about like she just put out a song? What is it? Nut quick? Like, are we talking about like presenting? Like, what perspective are we talking about?
I guess that does make it a little bit more subjective. I see Alex has put a one in the chat. So Alex, what's up?
So I get the whole perspective thing. That's nice. But I feel like as people, we don't just listen to folks that we have, the same perspective as. At least I don't. Personally, there's some stuff that some rappers have been through or they talk about that I don't know anything about, but I still like the music and I'm still going to listen to them. I feel like a lot of times women can't win at all. It's like you have some men, and I know guys that rap as well, and you have them, they're talking about, oh, they don't want to listen to somebody because they want the woman to have sex appeal. But then when the women start rapping like that, they say they don't want to listen to women rap about that stuff all day. They don't want to hear women rap about their pieces. They don't want to hear women rap about, purses or, drama or even their education. They don't want to hear that. But then you have women that rap harder stuff that are actually living a certain life. And then you have people telling them that they don't really live that life or that they're too rough and they don't want them to act like that. Women literally cannot win for losing sometimes.
I definitely feel like that sometimes as well. Let's keep it a buck. When you have the sweeties and the young Miamis, we don't take them seriously as rappers for real. They're here to make a pretty cool song for us to bop throughout the summer with our friends and not really take seriously as a substance based hip hop track. Or maybe at least that's just me and my friends. But we're not putting them in the same conversations as a Queen Latifah, a Missy Elliott, a MC Light. Like real substantial bars that really can be said upon something. When you try to hold a basic Saweetie song to say, oh well, she ain't this on Young Boy, she ain't this on Lil Baby. Of course not.
Well,
Like
let me ask
I
you
don't
this:
think she was meant to do that.
Yeah,
why
and there
did
are
she?
women that can,
I'm sorry.
really battle with these other rappers, but they're not being taken seriously just because they're women. Like, not all women rap about the same stuff, but it's like, again, you can't win for losing. They either rap too hard or they are not serious enough.
Well, that's when it comes back to representation because I'll give you a current example: Rhapsody. Why
Hmm.
doesn't Rhapsody get the same kind of representation as a Saweetie? Because Rhapsody,
Because
she got the bar, she got the content, she has, in my opinion, she has like the full package. In my opinion, but
I
she
mean,
doesn't get
for
the
a lot
same
of people, it comes
representation.
down to the look. She's not out here looking like the young Miamis or the Sweeties. Like, she's comfortable with who she is. And I think she makes a lane for those that are like minded to her or feel the same things and have the same perspective. But at the end of the day, let's keep it a bean here. Hip hop has been about sex since damn hip hop. I mean, it might not have been as out there and as in your face, but they definitely was talking about the same Uchiwali.
But Tyler, you know what I don't get is when people will try to take like the times of today and try to make them comparable to what we listened to before. Like you can't hold
Mm-hmm.
somebody from this time period to Tupac or even the women of that time period. You can't hold them to the same standard because different stuff is more appealing to us these days as far as what we want to hear. So it's like you can't get all these women and say that they trash because they rap a certain way and then tell Lil Baby that he fine. I love Lil Baby. I'm from Atlanta. I'm rock with him all day, but you can't tell him that he fine and somebody like Megan is not when they have like the same type of, je ne sais quoi, in my humble opinion.
No, I definitely feel you coming from it, and I feel like their fan bases like cross over a lot, or at least to what I see, because the same people that call in asking for Lil Baby be the same people that call in and asking for Megan Thee Stallion. So a lot of times it's like, oh well, even if I don't like Megan Thee Stallion, I'll stream it because my girl do, or I may not necessarily listen to Lil Baby, but I like a couple of songs because my man do. But I feel like people don't necessarily have that same kind of push to hear certain people. High Power, I see that you put a one in the chat, so I definitely want to hear your opinion as well. What's up?
Alright, so I came in the convo like a little later. I'm just reading the room, but
Oh, okay.
I look at all of this, and a realistic standpoint, like being from LA, being tapped in with the industry, having a dad that's a DJ, having a mom that sings, having a god sister that was on The Voice and American Idol. So I look at things realistically. And I heard somebody say something about Sweetie and not taking them serious. Um, I respect anybody that's an artist. I know it's so much easier to bash an artist opposed to actually being an artist, selling shit, going viral, promo, being a human being, all that publicity, exposure, all that. I look at it realistically. I respect it. So if you're a female artist and you have some type of impact, reach, I don't give a fuck if you're Megan the Stallion, Azealia Banks, Bad Baby, Ice Spice, and Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim. I don't care what kind of artist you are. It's hard as being an artist, period. So I'm gonna always respect.
Okay, yeah, I definitely am not trying to have a conversation of taking away from anybody. I was speaking more so on the point of like who is named as a substantial artist. Like I think of more of Saweetie more as a brand and a very, very good at what she does brand influencer that happens to rap more than a rapper that happens to be good at branding. I think she takes really well to branding, and then a lot of the things that she does with her music, she can do by choice now because she's good at what she is really doing.
Well, with that said, she should still stay in that lane because when you start, trying to dictate what other artists do in the music, you don't think that's like stepping over like a bound?
I don't think anybody should feel like they can't make music because somebody out there is going to like it. It's going to be marketable to somebody. That somebody doesn't have to be me, but I just don't have to be your audience, and that's cool. And that's why I think when people say, "Oh well, like Saweetie ain't Young Miami just getting on because she with Diddy now." Young Miami did her thing, and that's a very great lane for her. Did she ever really want to be a rapper? I've seen her say in interviews, no. She was following behind her friend, and I think it shows sometimes when she tried to come out with a little song on her own, but I definitely think that she still has love for music, and I can't take that away from her. I'm not gonna have substantial a music about or a conversation about music and talking about substance and bring up a Young Miami, a Saweetie. If I'm talking about who's hot on the scene, who you know is making the music that's popping right now, they can come up in conversation, but I don't feel like they come up in my conversations about musical substance. I definitely see y'all having this conversation about battle rappers, and I think there are way too many talented battle rappers out here that are not getting their fair shot, like you said, Alex, or even getting the chance to make a mistake. So definitely chime in with y'all thoughts on that as well. On
It's all politics. It's politics
It's
within
all
everything. Like with women
politics.
battles raps, like Queen of the Ring ended up
Mm-hmm.
getting like a negative remark. Granted, they was fighting at every show. They was
No.
doing what women do, but they can fight. They can slap each other, beat each other down, and they still get to go on to battle the next day. They just relatively within the last 5 years or so just really told like, okay, you gotta stop, you gotta sit down, you're not getting your back in. Just recently, but with women, it was never no grace given, and it's hater issue. That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Mm.
I feel like with the battle rapping thing, well, two parts. I feel like with a lot of the artists nowadays, bro, it's missing like real talent. And people just get caught up in who's popular, the antics, like you know what I'm saying, who was in Shade Room and who was in, you know what I'm saying. So that if you get in Shade Room a couple of times and you got any type of music out, you the new hot artist. I feel like that's how a lot of things go nowadays. And then you were just talking about battle rap. I feel like a lot of those women and men be super, super, super talented, like got bars for days, but they can't put together a song. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like a song for the radio or a song that somebody can really like sit in their car and like ride to type. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that, like they had the bars, but their actual song making skills is like not really there. Or they ain't got with the right people that can help
But
them
you know
catch
that be
up.
too. Excuse me. That be like people like once you got a good hook. I was telling my friends because she do music. Once you got a good hook, like you got you a perfect song. Like you just gotta come up with a
Right.
great hook, and the rest gonna flow to you. Cause
But see, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. So that's another thing. When women get assistants and they get writers' rooms and they have people write their bars for them, quote unquote, it's y'all treat that shit like
Yeah.
it's way worse than that do the exact same thing. It's music in general. If somebody throw you a line or throw you a hook, they gonna get writers credits on that shit regardless.
That's
But
why
y'all
we
make
love
it
you
way
like
more
him.
of a thing. They be like, oh,
You
she don't
probably
write her
more love
bars. Fuck who write their bars? Who can present
No,
this shit and
no,
make people feel it?
But
I'm gonna be
Nicki
totally,
Minaj the main one saying that though.
I'm gonna be totally honest.
Drake wrote stuff.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you though. I have no problem with a person having a writer, but I feel me personally, once you like have a writer and have people writing your actual verses, a hook, okay, that's cool. But once you have people writing your verses, I feel like it's cool to put it out. It's cool. You can still be you or whatever. Can't
You're a
you
pop
can't
artist
be
at that point.
you can't be considered a great. I feel like great artists, they
That's a
they
fact.
do they do their own stuff. That's them. So I can't really give you that type of credit.
You
If you
you are
But honestly, that's not even really true because every artist has done some type of collaboration. Even the greats like Michael Jackson. So even the same applies for rap. Like people that really know the music industry, 9 times out of 10, some of your favorite rappers' songs were a reference track. Same for pop songs. Like it all starts somewhere. And then a lot of times, like even rappers, they collab with other writers to create a whole song. Like I'm not a rapper, so I can't speak too much on it. I'm more of like
right. All of
music and
that is
R&B
different from being an
songwriter, but
MC. All of that is different from when it comes to being an MC. Like and being a songwriter is a skill. But when it comes to being an MC, if you don't write your rhymes, then you can't be considered a great.
right,
When it
right.
but
comes
are
to
you
hip
talking
hop,
about
being a
being an
hip hop
MC
MC,
or being an artist? Cuz you said artist.
being a
When
hip
we
hop
talking about
MC,
artists, there's a
being a
lot
hip
more
hop MC,
versatility.
you could be a great pop artist. Like you mentioned Michael Jackson. He's a great pop. He's the king of pop. But he wouldn't have been a hip hop MC. To be a hip hop MC, you have to write your own rhymes. That's how it
Well,
is.
I think the generations kind of change. Like the culture today
Um,
also kind of changed what music is too,
I,
in
I
a
can't
lot of
I can't
ways. Like
just I can't just say that. I can't just say that because I hear what you're saying, but like you brought
If
up.
you laid it down,
Yeah, I'm saying like when you brought up Michael Jackson, but like even with he's not a MC, he's an artist, and also people like Stevie Wonder is an artist. So I wouldn't put Stevie like Michael Jackson is great, but he'd never be a Stevie Wonder because Stevie Wonder did. You know what I'm saying? Like he was that pen, he was that musician, he was putting all this stuff. It was coming out of him, and he was putting it
And
out there.
and he couldn't see.
And he like so you get what I'm saying? Like it's a little it's different. So I'm not saying that you would never be great, but you can't be one of the greats. Like I can't I'm not saying you can't be a good artist or a good musician or whatever you want to call it, but I can't put you in that lane with those people that actually write their music, like for real. Like getting a hook, that's one thing. Getting a reference track where a person has a hook on there and they kind of give you the flow and you write your verse, that's different. But somebody actually sitting down and writing your verse out for you, that's a
I could
whole
agree with
lot of
that,
stuff.
Q, because that's what I mean. Hip hop was built on sampling, so it's gonna sample something. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's gonna repeat just like fashion. So I get what you're saying in that aspect.
You could go to
Hey,
I
YouTube
just
right
think
now.
even the greats have used lyrics word for word, bar for bar from other people. So I think it could just be very subjective. There's a lot of gray areas when it comes to it, even when it comes to MCs and ghostwriters and collaborations. That's why I don't really like to judge based on somebody's just pen. I
Wait,
get it when
said, oh,
when you put somebody toe to toe when it comes to battle rap, that's different. But if we're just talking in the sense of music, mainstream hip hop, and all of that, I think there's a lot of gray areas with that.
I don't think there are gray areas because the founders are still here and they laid the groundwork. So when you look at someone like Cool Mo D, he released a book called The 50 Greatest MCs, and he had a lot of different criteria in that book. And this is legitimate because this guy, he not only was he on the music side, he was also successful in the industry when it comes to even he was like one of the first MCs to be an actor and all that. So he really was like he became a pop artist, but he knew he lived it firsthand. So
But let's
I
keep it a
yeah
buck. The
yeah
old heads definitely
don't even get along with the young bulls enough to get along with the women. They damn sure ain't even getting along with the
That's a
young
fact.
men.
I can agree with that.
I mean,
I can't lie with you. People misunderstanding like with that. Like the old heads, like I kind of agree with the old heads. Like sometimes I can't get with that new shit, but at the same time, you still gotta. You could click the listen. You may like this shit, but I grew up off lyricists, so I respect the fact like you can go to YouTube at this exact moment and type in Jay Z, the Rockefeller. You can type in Tupac. Them dudes literally in the booth or in the studio, pen to pad, flowing. Like they got a whole vibe in there. But nowadays, when you look on Instagram, not to discredit the newer artists, nowadays when you look on Instagram, it's just like mini clips of them just flowing. Like you don't see a pen to pad, you don't see a whole vibe in there, and people putting the lyrics together. You don't see that nowadays, but you saw that back then in the '90s and when Pac and Big and the whole Rockefeller movement was alive. You saw them putting pen to pad and freestyling off the dome. Like, but nowadays it's different.
So, what artist was you most disappointed by when you found out they had ghostwriters?
That's for me or that's for the whole room?
that's for the whole room.
Drake.
Of all rappers, I was more disappointed, not necessarily that Drake had a ghostwriter, but I was disappointed that he be throwing these stones from a glass house. And don't nobody say nothing about that when it comes to, like, it's cool to throw a stone from the glass house when you Drake, but when you Nicki and you throw a stone from a glass house, that glass house about to shatter because everybody coming for you. I think the things that we allow Drake to get away with, we just don't let Nicki get away with. And I'm not even the biggest Nicki fan, and I definitely don't think she's handling the things that she's handling right now in the right way. But let her breathe a little. Y'all just been out here. I mean, how many people has Drake beefed with? And how many of those bars was he really writing?
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I don't even think people really too much give a damn if Nicki wrote her raps or not. I feel like she put the pressure on herself that make other people like say stuff about it. Like
But I
she
think when it
always
came
coming
down to
out and
like her features, that's where it stood to the test. Because let's keep it a buck, she washed on Monster. A lot of dudes was upset and trying to say, "Oh, well, you don't do this, you don't do that," and that's why she had to set the standard of, "No, I write my."
There was a moment in the
To
game where
be
she was like
discredited
the
like that
hottest
just because,
MC.
oh, you a woman, ain't no way you could have wrote that. That's where I think that standard comes more so for women than, oh well, okay, so Pusha T said you got a ghostwriter. Well, they don't necessarily hold men to that same standard.
I feel like there's always been that discrimination in hip hop for women, though, when you think about it. Like, even back in the day when you had Lil Kim, they didn't want to hear women rapping about real things and about street shit. They wanted women rapping about sexual things men wanted to hear. So, like, even when we think about Nicki, number one, I feel like Drake gets away with so much because the culture doesn't really want good artists. I think they just want good vibes. They want music that gives them a good vibe, and they want people that have status, like that have that fame. But like when it comes to Nicki, I think Nicki intimidated a lot of men because of her skill, and that made people want to try to like keep her down. And then men in the industry used Cardi as a way to try to like downplay Nicki and her impact, honestly. And I think this whole conversation around ghostwriters and all of that and Nicki defending herself wouldn't even really be a thing if there weren't so many female artists getting put in the game just to be a slap in the face to Nicki. When you think about it, like a lot of these female rappers became rappers solely off social media, just like Sweetie. All you need as a woman is a good following and people that would buy your music, and boom, you could get put on. So I think that also kind of started this whole conversation around women writing their own things, because it's a lot of fakes in the industry on the female side. I think there is on the men's side too, but hip hop was never equal for us. It's always been like this.
And even to take it back further than Nicki and Cardi, let's keep it a buck. It was a lot of men and a lot of ears in the whole beef between Eve, Foxy Brown, and Lil Kim. Like, I mean, a lot of the things that Foxy and Kim were saying about Eve was that Eve wasn't on shit for real with the rap because she was hiding behind Rough Riders or she was hiding behind DMX. And I think that whole mindset of feeling like you had to hide behind, or that if you don't have a man standing beside you that's saying it's cool, it ain't cool. Like, once at the point where I feel Drake and Nicki wasn't necessarily seeing eye to eye was when Cardi came and kicked the door in, and it was just inopportune time for Nicki because now not only is there this new cute young shit, but there's this man who is really dominating shit right now that's making things hard for me. But at the same time, Nicki is doing to Lotto and Cardi and all these new rap girls the same shit she tried to accuse Kim of doing to her. Now, all the she a young boy, she don't know nothing, and then all the she's old, she's washed up. Now she mad because the new girls is calling her old and washed up, and it's like you kind of reap what you sow there, buddy. Like that's kind of on you. So I definitely want to get into the rap beefs because I think it's more respected when a man beefs. Like we can talk about the Nas diss tracks and the J diss tracks and how many conversations you can have just about those two alone in diss tracks. We could talk about LL Cool J and how revered his diss tracks are. But when we talk about it with the women,
Ether was
it's
one of them
always a problem that
ones.
we beefing.
Females beef now, and this is the problem with social media and this hip hop culture. Like we have too much access, and it's real corny because nobody, the females at least, they not going into the stew and getting on the mic and speaking about their beef. They just hopping on Twitter and going back and forth. Like, and I think that also takes away some of that validity of like your artistry because rap beef used to actually it used to produce music, it used to produce hits. Now it just produced tweets and shade room posts.
And then
I mean, but we can't say it ain't been something of being seen on site either, because we all saw Cardi coming out of the Met Gala looking Willy Lump Lump. Like,
Remy Ma did that diss track on Nicki too, which was respectfully
yeah, the
like Nicki never said
Sheetha.
nothing back.
But Kim had diss tracks. I mean, Nicki has diss tracks. There, 5 Star Chick. That 5 Star Chick verse was not about nobody but all them girls on that song and all the rap girls out right then. Like the whole, it's lines here and bars here, and then for men, it's a whole song. Like
but see the whole thing is it's
you might hear the 5 Little Mama, you're a 3 star. She was talking about Little Mama. She wasn't lying.
but see it's no depth behind the beef though. Like when you see men beefing, usually it's got a backstory to it. Like my hood against your hood, or my homeboy done killed this person on that side. It's always like a real backstory to it.
But
Like
I
what I
think the
see
backstory
men,
to women be the men in the women's ear.
but I'm saying like it's like when I
Like
get
y'all
paid.
are setting the foundation for the backstory, but then not wanting the beef.
You said what?
That's
Y'all are
crazy.
setting the like not y'all, but men are setting the foundation for the backstory. And oh well, so whisper whisper this and whisper whisper that. Let me tell you what I heard she say about you,
But that's
because
pillow.
y'all
That's
do like
pillow
to do
talking,
that.
and that's. I bet that's the same that got ghostwriters.
Exactly.
That's
At one time, they was considering like rap
that's
beef
that's
like a
corny.
pillar, an actual staple as far as like hip hop goes. It was driving hip hop 100%. Like all the fucking East West Coast beef. I don't know, that shit has some actual meaning behind it. And the women beef, they really do be petty. Like I hate when you know the truth, like what we don't want the stereotype to be, it comes out when when real shit really happen.
Yeah,
Women are
cause
petty. They
then
do be petty as
even with the Nicki and Cardi shit, like a lot of that has been stemming back to, and I hate to put it this way, but that whole "oh, you a mom and you washed up now." Because as soon as they got to talking about kids, everything went had there been a boundary, which there is no boundaries in hip hop, I know. But had there been a level of respect not to touch certain things, it would have never have gotten to now the young rap girls is beefing based upon some stuff 10 times umpteen years, over nothing.
Like, this is my problem with the whole thing. Like, I'm listening to everything, and I'm like, okay, and I'm even I don't really know about the men being in the women's ear and telling them, but like, let's just take that for face value. Like, okay, that's the case. But why can't these women produce music like from that that's gonna benefit? Okay, with the men, you got the Dolph and the Gotti and the Youngster, you got the Tory Lanes and the Jordan Lucas, you got the Drakes and I can't even think of Brett. What's Brett name? From the
Meek
Clips,
Mill. Oh,
Meek
Pusha
Mill
T.
and Pusha T. You got all these different, like, and going back and forth with whole songs, whole even the Chicago drill. Them niggas really killing it, but they making songs. I'm smoking yo They making whole diss records like Young Boy. He dissing niggas and they making whole diss songs. Like they producing music and making millions off of their music, and they getting bigger and bigger off of these diss tracks. But why are these women not taking what they going through and putting it on and making mute? Like, why are they not making
That's a
music?
fact too,
Right.
Q. Because
But
they had to put they a battery and Nicki back to even make her make them two little diss tracks she made. She is a sneak disser, so she was just gonna keep doing the one liners. They had to make her make what the fuck was it? No frauds. And that up towards Remy, like they had to really put their
But
foot
see,
in her
Nikki
back to
was
make her
nice
make
on
a
them come
full
up
track.
DVDs though.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
yeah.
used to watch the come up DVDs
No,
in the basement and
no, for
he
sure.
used to be real nice on them. She used to be a real ball for ball rapper.
For
None of
sure.
that bubble gum and that sweet you know what I'm saying? Like I understand that's all lane. I'm not knocking it, but she used to be like a real grimy rapper on
But
them
I
come up
also want
DVDs.
to put out there, especially what's going on in recent, I mean, as of like last week type time, let's not act like the rap boy is not out here doing the social media stuff. Because that whole thing with Young Boy last week was
Sure.
weird.
But
They
see,
are.
that's
They,
I
but
was
that
just
stem
about
from
to
but
say
that
that
still
because
stem from
men do it
something.
too.
That still
no,
stem from the
I'm,
Yeah, but
I'm,
situation,
it's
the King Von
the
situation.
whole young boy and Bobby Schmurder was just going back and forth on Instagram Live for no
No, it
reason.
was for a
They,
but
I
I'm,
don't even. I mean, I didn't keep up, but
what
it
I'm, what
was
I
I'm,
no
mean, even to
backstory.
bring somebody else in it. Drake tried to hit Chris Brown with a champagne bottle. Like, what are we doing here?
but this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that men don't do it on the internet. Men don't actually get out here and you know what I'm saying, say shit here, say this there. But usually, bro, it's songs being made behind this shit. It's okay. All right, didn't keep talking, bro. Let me go ahead. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let me get on this track and spit some shit. Let me, you know what I'm saying. Oh, this playing, bro. I'm gonna get on the internet, go live. Yeah, yeah. But get what? After that, yeah. Let me go and say this shit on this song. To shit said. Usually that's how it go. But I'm not saying this don't be on the internet doing that. But what I'm saying with women is like, bro, we saw a whole Lotto and Nicki Minaj feud for weeks on Twitter, just typing, tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet. What music came from that?
They just
Nothing.
human like us. They human like, and that's why I really just don't like the social media culture. I feel like as a fan, it's giving me way too much access to these celebrities because it makes them look real corny. Like, yeah, y'all going back and forth on Twitter like regular people. Like y'all not worth millions of dollars. So I think it's a flaw, and I also think their teams play a big role in this because if they had also the right people in their team, they would be knowing to utilize this stuff and make a song so they can market the beef and make money and get promo. So I feel like also a lot of it be their teams are not really setting them up right. So I don't know. There's not a real answer to it. I think it's
And I'm
just
not
it's that stereotype.
and I'm not saying I can see the future. I ain't that so cute or nothing like that, but I feel like
That's so cute. It's crazy.
nah, real shit. Like even with that Bobby Smurder and Young Boy, I don't feel like Young Boy gonna make a song behind what just happened the other day. But I guarantee you, this is just it's a wild guess too. But I got a real good feeling Bobby Smurder gonna push this shit out, bro. That's gonna be like he gonna put a little diss out. Like he gonna put a little some little funny shit out there, bro. He gonna make a song like speaking
And I'm
on
sure his
some of
team
that
gonna
shit.
tell him to because he need the promo. So I'm sure they in his ear like, yeah, get on them, get in the stew so they can use that like moment to promote
Right,
him.
right,
Also, he not trying to go back to jail because he did 7 and he let his mans go home early. But
right.
be mindful, he
Yeah.
ain't stupid either. I hope he not stupid because
Nah,
I
he
know he ain't
definitely
trying to
stupid.
go back in the slammer, fam.
He
He just
definitely
I
came
think
stupid.
out.
He
I think
definitely
that's
stupid.
also why men are more prone, like men in hip hop are quicker to go to the studio for beefs versus women because like hip hop can be violent. Hip hop has a violent history. A beef between two men can turn into somebody dying real quick. Versus 9 times out of 10, women argue on Twitter. They're probably not even going to see each other and make it on site. That's a rare occurrence. So I
But
also
women
feel like
are
that's
also
why.
the start of a lot of beefs too, though. That's another thing.
Well, that's another
But
discussion.
yeah,
I
even
mean,
with what you just explained though, that's more the reason to make make music. Like, well, if that's the case, which it really is, then we shouldn't hear as many. We shouldn't have more men diss tracks and diss songs and feuds like that than women. Like we should be hearing the women more. And I feel like even that, I know it may sound crazy, but I feel like a lot of men will really want to hear, oh, this nigga just dropped a diss song. I'm about to go listen to that shit. I'm about to run that. Let me see what she talking about on that phone. Like, I feel like me, Lotto just dropped a, oh, let me see what type of shit she kicking. She be talking about her opinion of this shit. Let me see what she, you know what I'm saying, putting down type of shit. Like, I feel like everybody will tune in to this, you know what I'm saying? Because they
But
feel
we
like it'll
can't
be
say
so
that
good.
when there are women diss songs out here that aren't given the recognition.
Who? Who this song?
No, Frost definitely didn't do no numbers like any regular Nicki song.
It wasn't
Um,
because it wasn't like, oh,
but it was a
Now that's
diss.
a good point. Nah, but that's
Sheetha
really
did
a
not
good
do
point.
numbers. None of these women diss songs. Y'all don't give them the space to do the numbers that they could. I
And that's
swear.
probably why they don't be quick to diss. They probably think nobody wants to hear female beef, which is probably real facts too.
It
A
it's
is.
lot
not.
of y'all wouldn't even know about the beefs that be going on between female rappers if it wasn't for Shade Room and like Instagram pages like that.
I know that shit make for good music, and I feel like when they put out these diss songs like No Fries and shit, they be it's like they say some little sneaky shit in the song, but they slick try to make it a pop song at the same time. It's like it ain't really like a
Sheether,
diss song all the way.
Sheether was a diss song.
Shether,
Remy's
yeah,
song
yeah,
Sheether was a
Shether was
diss.
a diss song. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
give
was
you that.
hard.
Yeah, that was hard. I feel that jump,
But
but
mad people
I
was
say my
clowning Remy
favorite
for
woman
it.
diss song is for sure still gonna be Black Friday by Kim. Cause that was the ignorant.
That switch hard. No
yeah,
cap.
That was hard.
yeah.
Not gonna lie, give credit where it's due. That switch is hard.
So,
But even
but
that, as hard as it was, it didn't get the proper and
yo, come
the
on,
proper diss track respect.
come on.
So you saying it should be up there with something like "Hit 'Em Up," or is that what you
I
saying?
No,
wouldn't say a hit 'em up,
no.
but
It should,
like
cause
it could be a few under like a no Vaseline.
hell no,
A few
hell no,
under.
But
Under.
no
I ain't
Vaseline,
say a few
People
next
can't
to.
be
bro.
He
No
reached it
rappers
now.
Vaseline.
can't say off
He
the
reached it
wall
now, fam.
shit like that like they used to too. Like a rapper can't get on a track and laugh at just for having sickle cell like they used to back in the day.
Yeah, that
So
is true.
that also takes away from how good like diss tracks from the 80s and 90s versus now are way different because people are so sensitive.
That
Nah,
also plays a role in it.
I don't. See the way the world work now, bro. They pick and choose when they want to be sensitive, bro. Like let's be totally honest. They if because when we heard Dolph shit, 100 shots, bro, saying all type in that motherfucker. I give a fuck. That nigga talking about sisters and everybody. That nigga talking
Hmm.
about family members. The whole. We listen to drill music. They talk about shoot your grandma house up and piss on your mama grave and all. Man, nigga don't care. Like they gonna jam that shit just the same.
And like I
Like
said,
you know what I'm
lost weight
saying?
because he actually got
I,
shot at 100 times.
yeah, yeah, but I feel like to put, you say put that shit with no Vaseline, bro.
No, 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 no,
That's
no, no,
like
no. See, you taking the word out. You taking the operative word out of that sentence. I said put a few under. A
it,
few under.
I can't even give you that because to
What y'all
me
talking
in
about?
my
100
eyes,
shots?
no, to me in my eyes, no Vaseline
No
is the
Friday.
number one. That shit was
Number
fuck.
one,
No Vaseline.
That's kind of a
I
that
That
shit was
number
mean,
one
tough.
diss
Like
song?
don't
it
get
I
me
mean, it was
wrong, that
was.
tough,
shit was
but I
hard.
feel like to say number one is a little bit of a stretch
Who
for
is
me.
trumping? Who is
Hit 'em
trumping
up,
no
hit 'em up
Vaseline?
is not.
Hit
Nah, I
Hit
think
'em up is
I,
number one in my book.
Ether,
Ether
Ether,
and
and,
hit him up. I
Takeover.
got them two over
Ether is like a good
Takeover.
no
number two or
Vaseline.
three. Ether like
Y'all,
two or three.
oh
Yeah.
my,
And
y'all
to
got
me,
hit
I,
'em.
I, I really believe Jay had Nas first, but I know Nas killed him with the ether. But Jay balls was nice. Skied in your Jeep, left condoms in your baby seat. Like that's disrespectful, fam.
yeah.
Like that's bad. Yeah, that's like I'm really gonna kill you. Like you feel me?
I,
They was
I,
really getting down back then, fam. For real.
bro, I'm damn near about to play No Vaseline, bro. You talking about disrespectful?
I mean, I ain't even gonna
Boy,
hold you. One of my favorites, and that's just a personal favorite, is Pimp Slaps by Snoop Dogg,
Mm-hmm.
and he was coming at Corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Dog.
from the South. One of my favorite. It's ratchet. It's ghetto. But that big cat by Gucci Man.
I knew you was about to say that shit. Man, I knew you was about to say that
You
shit.
big
Crazy.
cat. You big filthy. Yeah, that shit was fire.
I like Piggy Bank too by 50.
Yeah, that was hard.
Now,
He came at
50,
everybody in that
I was about to
joint.
say 50 got his
But
whole little, his own little section of just dish. Like, that really
but How
like
to
that.
Rob was the best one. He killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, How to Ride was definitely the best joint, but
What about?
Are we gonna forget
No
about the whole
Vaseline.
Gangster Grill series? Because what?
yeah,
Mm.
that's definitely worth throwing in the hat.
It's in the hat, but when you talking about the top, I understand if you put ether above no Vaseline, I can toss those
I
two up.
definitely put Ether above No Vaseline.
Real rap, fam.
Give me.
I do that
What
too.
about the
That's
game?
why I said a
300
few
yards
under,
run.
because No Vaseline wasn't
And I
the
ain't even
number
from
one.
New York, and I put that shit first, fam. Like, cause when that shit came out, the movement behind it, like what
Yeah,
he was
Ether
doing in
shit cool.
Queens and what them was doing with Jay and them, like they was really in the streets, but they didn't have no Instagram to show that. You only had MTV, BT, TRLs to find out, or if you was in the streets, then you'd have found out. But that movement behind that beef, that's why I put that first. That shit was heavy, So
But that's a man versus a man. You talking about a man versus a
oh
whole
shit.
group.
I got. I got.
Not a
I
man
got.
versus.
I gotta throw it. We forgetting about the game.
As a
Mm.
label and a
Don't
group.
See you
game
not.
or this right here.
Right.
Real talk.
F you
I
too.
mean, to an extent, I agree. Lost Ones by Lauren Hill. A lot of people have been saying like, yeah, that's a diss track, and that's specifically at Wyclef, and I can see it.
It
Like,
You said
definitely is.
lost one. You may
Yep,
win
it
yeah,
some,
definitely
but
is.
you really
it's funny because
So
lost
it
so
depends on the
one.
so
situation.
to, so to, so to kind of steer back to the topic a little bit, like so we having this conversation, and as you can see, it's not really like we talking about the top diss tracks. We ain't really been saying a lot of women, like you know what I'm saying. Like we ain't been really like putting them up there with you know what I'm saying. So do
You know
y'all
why?
think?
Because they don't count Keys when Keys diss Nicki Minaj on YouTube. That's why they ain't no
They
women.
don't
Because,
count
boy,
my
what?
girl Keys.
Keys got Nicki
Hey, look,
Minaj the
if
fuck
there's
up out of
ever a
here, man.
day that
Stop
y'all say
playing.
I'm from Baltimore, it's the day that Keys dipped on Nicki on that
She
track.
she wound her
I'll be
up in
from
that
Baltimore
motherfucking
then.
track, man.
That's a
If
fact.
she had a
I,
name, she would have, yeah.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
if
fam. Eve
Keys would
Eve
have
is the
wore
best
something better
female
than
rapper to me. I'm sorry. Like
if
it's
Keys' little hoodie was a little bit bigger, she would have been there. Because they
I'm
said that joint was too
crying,
small.
yo.
They definitely was talking about that girl little jacket.
I'm not gonna say she the best rapper to me, my favorite rapper, a female rapper, but I feel like Eve to me, and I'm gonna
she
get a
number
lot of
one,
slack for
fam.
this. I'm not putting Nicki over Eve. I think it's like Missy, Eve, and then I'm gonna go probably Nicki. You know what I'm saying?
Why it took you so long to say that? Why it
Man,
took you so long to get that
He didn't
out?
want to get packed
He
Eve
didn't
up.
want to
flow
I'm
is
say
crying.
him.
Eve flow is just
I'm a
different. Like
Nikki.
it was
Yeah.
just
You
Yeah.
she was
regretted
running
that?
with Rough Riders
I
and them
feel
niggas,
like people
dog.
never
Like
gave Missy her proper due because Missy wasn't sexy. Like, she had
That's
sex
a
appeal, but she
fact.
wasn't sexy.
Missy was
That's
very
a fact.
talented.
hold on. Did anybody mention the brat?
Okay, because
Oh
let's talk
yeah,
about
The
yeah,
it.
brat, the
yeah.
Cause she
brat
could
was,
rap too. The brat,
yeah,
Trina could rap.
the brat
Trina
was
really
Okay.
got
nice.
balls
She
I
though.
didn't.
for
Yeah.
Trina too.
I
I
fuck with
love
Trina.
Trina.
I love me some
Did y'all
Trina
hear the
Trina.
came to
track with Trina,
Baltimore in
Missy, with
June.
Trina the Brat and Eve? They got they all flowing on three on one song together. I think they calls I don't know what the song called, but all three of them rapping, and all of
Yeah,
them
that's the
balls
ladies'
is
night.
top tier. Nobody lagging. You don't even know who was the hottest. That's how that's
Yeah.
how
That's
that's how
how I
The
fire
feel
they
song
was.
about
called Ladies' Night.
what's it, Ladies Night?
Yeah, the song
That's
called
how
Hmm.
I
Ladies'
feel
Night.
about Ladies Night. Everybody dragged on that joint.
Yeah, nobody was lagging. It's like you had to respect it.
And
Like,
Ladies Night was the
bro.
most women empowerment video because Mary J came as lit as she could to come and party. She did. They said in a interview that she did not know that they were shooting a music video. She just happened to be on the same island and pulled up with all her friends and came and danced in the background of their music video.
Oh, Tyler, you know what else I'm thinking of? That it's I think it might be a regional thing as well, but like Cause like being from Atlanta, when somebody try to come out and they get off the ground, your whole city, the whole city is supporting you for shit show. But when like Glorilla come out and this in Memphis hating on her, mad that she made it to the top, everybody's city not like Atlanta, where they
Yeah.
gonna be behind you and help you,
That's a fact.
be the face of your city.
No,
So
for real.
it just
That's like
always in hating somewhere. That's just what I'm
They
trying
be
to get
hating on a
on the
group of
Hey,
podcast.
people.
real
Hey
talk,
podcast,
the
that's
niggas hating on out there.
okay.
that's the
Chris Paul,
always
who
in
you looking to
hating
be?
somewhere.
Crazy like a motherfucker.
Our artists be having
But
to leave our
Tay
city.
actually mentioned in the back channel that Rocky's coming out of Philly. Rocky is one of the
Yes, no,
hardest
this sis.
female rappers in Philly
Yes,
right
she
now.
is.
And Rocky do not get the proper
You know she
respect
don't.
because she don't have that city backing behind her
To be
on
honest,
the
I think it's because she's dark skinned. I
outskirts.
really do. I think she don't look how everybody expects her to look, and she got a gritty. Like she's
Yeah,
gritty.
she's definitely
She's
more
gritty.
aggressive.
She's aggressive.
Like
She not about to rap about no like little daintiness. She rapping about some shit.
when it comes to her versus Tierra Whack,
Hmm.
everybody cool with Tierra Whack because Tierra Whack do her own thing. She don't really bother nobody. She don't really be in the way of nobody else. Her lane is her lane, and that's where she's moving. But when you have somebody like before Glorilla was that big, tough, deep voice John, for Philly, it was Rocky. Like
Hmm.
Rocky always been sounded.
Yeah.
Rocky been sounded like a tenor before Glorilla was even
Yeah, real
Glorilla.
fucking right.
So it's like when we have these conversations, and certain people, like you said, Debrat, people like Young Ma, don't necessarily come up in them conversations so fast because they're more masculine or more aggressive than the cute girls.
It's
I
kind of
don't,
like, why would I listen to
They
some?
put the stud rappers with the.
They
I don't
definitely
think.
put the
Yeah,
studs
they
with the
did.
niggas.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I listen to somebody that's trying to be me though? That's the thing.
That's crazy. That's a crazy statement. Trying to be you
I
I,
feel
is
like
out
it's
of
I,
hard to say
control.
when a
nah,
lot of the rap
I ain't gonna
boys
lie.
is out here acting like rap girls.
I ain't gonna lie. I was fucking. I was tough. Young and May. Young and May was straight. Well, she was straight. I think she just kind of like dwindled off, like off the radar. So I really kind of like lost focus of
That's
her.
a fact.
Like
I
she
ain't
was
heard nothing
good.
from her in a
She
minute.
was good. She was good. But it was like she wasn't good enough to have me like, oh, I gotta check in with her music. Like whenever she drop, I gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so once I stopped seeing her, it was like, okay, damn, she you know what I'm saying? She gone. Like, I don't know what she went to. But but even the female rappers y'all talking about, like Glorilla and shit, like I can understand why they wouldn't want to listen to them. I don't feel like they saying that they can't per se rap, but it's like when a woman's rap lyrics is taking in the money, in the go for drain them for everything. It's like,
I know for
real,
sure I'm not listening to that in my whip, fam.
yeah. It's like,
When I'm driving, like, nah.
yeah. I mean, you really expect? Come on now.
So y'all not gonna be in the whip? I'm FREE fucking
Oh
free.
hell
Okay, cause y'all
nah.
definitely be in the
Uh,
in the whip singing
My little
all the
sisters and them be
Fantasia y'all
playing that
And
shit.
can.
Pete, this
And I'm
Tyler.
Okay.
and
can
I,
I be honest with
So,
y'all?
oh, go ahead, boo.
Can I be honest with y'all? Half the niggas say no, but they be in the background like, this go
They
hard as
be
hell.
nah,
bumping
that
their
shit cap.
head.
Like if you
Exactly.
That
in a
shit. That
club,
shit.
like a club set, but who gonna ride around like on
Yeah.
a Tuesday?
If
Right.
you
You know what
but
I'm
if you're in
saying?
the car with your girlfriend and that song come on and she going lit, that
I'ma
shit
let
is
I'ma
gonna
let her
play.
have I'ma let her have
No,
her
you
fun.
know what y'all
If
gonna
we in
do,
the car,
Tyler? You know what they gonna do? They gonna make a remix like Meek Mill just did with
Mm-hmm.
Munch.
Me.
Y'all gonna make a remix and y'all gonna
Yup.
make it for y'all, so y'all ain't gotta listen to the woman version. Y'all wanna hear?
Mm-hmm.
You thought I was feeling you?
niggas, I be like, you know what I'm saying? I be like, I be doing the whole thing, so that should be hard.
No
Exactly. Like
bullshit
I feel
though.
like y'all pick and choose what ladies shall like.
They
We
do because
We
my
do
baby
though.
dad used
I
to
know
we
listen
I
to
we
Meg
do.
The Stallion all the
we
time.
pick and choose. We pick and choose what we listen to because we just pick that actually beat. Some of that shit be catchy. We like the FRE shit. That's
Mm-hmm.
catchy, bro. Like I ain't gonna just jam it and this shit in the car and like that.
And
Like
that's
bro
what I'm
was saying, but
saying.
that shit catchy as a beat. It go from in the month. It's like that whole beat, the whole like how she said the shit. It's shit catchy, bro. So it's like yeah, I for sure work out,
And
but
that's what I'm
But
saying.
I
They
definitely
like that
do
shit.
think there are still like the girly girls that don't get the proper recognition. Like, what's her name? Lady London, come out of DC. She hot
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
on
I
every
love
Instagram.
her.
Who is
Stop
that?
playing.
Who is
And that's
that?
the thing. Everybody
I
know her
only
when they
came
see her
up
on
because I
Wait, who
heard
said
Lady
who
Instagram.
is
London.
that? Go nah. Whoever said that used to go on
I
YouTube and
only
look at
came up
Lady
because I heard
London.
Lady London. She the goat.
Who is
She
who
said
is
She
she
the
With
who is
the
that
go.
to you?
coconut.
that
Hey,
is
In the summer sun, I'm
Hey, yo,
coking up.
Q,
He's
yo,
dope
Q,
as
bro.
fuck.
My mother, bro. Lady London will give you the best bars you heard in
nah,
a long time, bro.
I done heard,
Even the joint Lola Brooks, she tough. That
I
little
done
don't play
heard.
with
Don't
it,
play
don't
with it.
play with
Don't
it.
play with
Yeah,
it. Don't play with
that's
it.
what I'm
Come
talking
on,
Don't
about.
play with
That's what
man.
I'm
it,
talking about.
Tyler. Let's not play
That's
with
who I
Just
it.
was
laying
trying to
it.
think of right there. That's who I was trying to think about. If y'all go listen to that girl, her other music other than that song is hot. But if y'all go, that girl really spitting like that, like she nice. Like
Nah, Lady London really lyrical, bro. Like,
No,
Exactly.
meta,
that chick,
metaphors,
she
all
is
that
cold.
shit,
She do
bro.
spoken word. I think that's
Hmm.
where it stemmed from.
She
Like
really
she
go
really got a
crazy, bro.
pen for
Yeah,
sure.
no, her wordplay is different.
That shit is impeccable.
And I feel like she don't get the proper due. And it's like she has
Now
the
she got the
package, the
look.
quote
She got
unquote package.
everything. So
She got
She
all
got
that
the
shit.
look. She got the branding. I mean, she got the whole nine. It just ain't
but what I
hitting
will
for
I'm
say,
gonna
me.
her
give the industry.
songs,
I'm gonna give the industry one more breath,
like
and
the
then they
songs
got
I've
something
tried to
else.
hear her make, they not. She, like, I like her when she acapella, when she just spitting that
Yeah, when
shit.
she
When she get on wax,
freestyle.
like when she get on a beat, it
Now
really don't
her
be
album
the
went crazy
same.
too.
That's why it's hard for me to listen. I mean, listen to women rappers because sonically, consistently, they voices irritate to me. Certain ones.
We got
So
a
that's why I'm
No
misogynist in the
shit.
building.
Nah, Lady London shit, shit, intelligent ass rapper though.
Okay, shout out to the
feel what he's
Howard
saying though.
grads.
I feel what he's saying though, because I'm like that with Megan Thee Stallion. I can't listen to Megan Thee Stallion. I just can't do it. It's just something about her. When I hear her voice, it like just irritate me. Like I be like, shut up. Like, but
She
that's not
got that
all
shit.
women. I've started to realize, bro, how much control the media has on us. Like they I start realizing about how they put certain words and certain captions and to try to sway you into thinking a certain type of way when they post things. Like it'll be a bias type comment. Like they'll post something and kind of try to sway you into a certain direction of thinking versus just posting it for face value. This is what happened. They try to word it a certain type of way to put you on one side of believing. Oh, believe this. This is what we think
And
is going on, and everybody run with it.
I can say as an entertainment journalist, a lot of times that comes with making sure that you're sensitive to everybody because there's so many things to be sensitive to nowadays that if you're not swaying in the way of the right person, then somebody's gonna get mad and say this. And it's really been a challenge for a lot of journalists. But before I even get into that, let's talk about it. A lot of hip hop journalists are white men. So a lot of the conversations that come out, yeah, it's coming out on the shade room, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a black individual writing that. Complex, Double XL, all of those are white publications. So when we have conversations about things and they're seen as one way in our community, they're not going to be the same to this person that's writing this article and where what we're basing our thoughts and opinions off of because they don't experience the same. They don't see it as the same. They don't understand the cultural context the same way we would. But oh, and also shameless plug, make sure that y'all support y'all black entertainment journalists, especially the black women. Shout out to Tatiana Janae, Alana Milan, so many brilliant black women entertainment journalists out here that do not get their proper respect because there are a bunch of white men out here trying to talk about us to us about us.
And a lot of these people, they getting paid, man. They getting paid to spin a certain type of narrative too. Like, yeah, I want you to put this out there, but I want you to make it seem this way. So they, what I'm saying, get this type of idea and run with that. So that'll be a narrative. Like people are getting paid to swing narratives, different type of narratives, bro.
All we got to do is not accept the money. That's all we got to do. But it's hard to
You
do
know,
that.
it's
You
Yeah.
hard.
know.
Like economically, a lot of people, they really like they see a little deal, they see a little couple $1,000, and they ready to go. Like it just got to be like we have to protect our culture more than what we do. We let everybody run up and down our culture, tell us who we should support, who we shouldn't support, how we supposed to act, or even like with the YSL dish. This is the only time that is looking really go into hip hop and use their lyrics to try to indict them on the issue, and that's never been done ever. And all these country people, they do talk about all the killing and slaying and hog tying they be doing, and it never gets done to them. So we just gotta keep it separate. Like we got too
Mm-hmm.
many. It's too much mixy people who really like they'll be down for the culture, but when them sirens get behind you, a motherfucking heart not gonna drop the same. So it's just
Exactly.
we gotta have that separation, and it sounds like racist or like I'm trying to go back to segregation, but it's just like we have to protect
Yeah,
our
we
culture more
definitely
because we
need
the
more
only
unity.
ones. Yeah, we the only ones who really live this day to day.
And it's crazy that we bring it back to unity because that's how this podcast kind of got named what it named, because of UNITY. And I think it goes to show that as a forefront, as people that really make moves and shape and shift the culture that we have of hip hop, I think that's where we lack. Like we don't necessarily uplift each other as a whole in this now universal thing. When hip hop was more exclusive and it was easier for us to say, oh no, we're going to gatekeep this, it was different than now everybody's listening to it. And like even in the market, how they say, oh, you know black women are typically like towards the bottom of the people getting paid, or the people getting paid on time, or the proper job care and things like that. I feel like a lot of times black women that rap kind of get pushed down to the lower shelves and not necessarily seen as the same substance or the same lyrical genius or the same whatever kind of great standard there is as others. And a part of that is because we do not uplift as a culture. So I definitely want to thank you all for coming. I If I could put into words how much I truly appreciate everybody, shout out to the trenches for pulling up. Y'all really love y'all girl, and y'all know I don't even be coming off my mic. This is the most y'all ever heard me talk in my life. But I truly a shout out to Thought Master, shout out to everybody, shout out to Clubhouse for even letting me do this here. Like I so appreciate y'all so much for helping me get to my masters, and we got 2 more days, y'all, till we get that graduation slip.
Shout
Okay,
out to you.
graduation.
Thank
I know
Congratulations.
you.
that's
And
right.
thank you for having us. This has
Congratulations.
been a
Hey, I
dope.
need
And Tyler, thank you for
Period.
having us. Thank you for this topic. It was a great conversation. I feel like we in West Bubble up right now because we just started bouncing off topics, and I don't even know where we at right now. But it was a dope vibe, and I feel like I know it got to end sometime, but it still could have kept going because it's
I
so
tell
much that
you.
we could talk about when it deals with like hip hop and comparing women to men.